So very good morning to everyone. Namaste. So how has been your morning? Guys, open up your windows. Madhuji, Manjuji, Amishi, Mitushi, Geeta ji, सब लोग विंडोज खोलो. वो ब्लैक स्क्रीन के साथ बात करने की मुझे आदत नहीं है. I feel when I see people, then I feel that connection. Amishi, Mitushi, yeah, Madhu has opened it, Manjuji has opened it. All the others are still on the black screen. Screen तो खोलो, समझ में आए क्या हो रहा है. So last week हम लोगों ने बात की and we spoke about how any situation that happens in our life, I can look at it from what all did not work for me and where was the trigger mechanism for pain. Or I can see ideally what is it that is good which worked for me. Did you all do your exercise for that? The purpose to share that was so that you do your exercise with it. You also have sit with your accounting book of the year and write down that this entire year, this is what happened to me. And wherever you felt the pain, कि ये मेरी लाइफ में नहीं हुआ, this did not work for me, God, you were unkind, or probably not to that extreme level, but even if little bit you felt the pinch of it, I wish things could have been better, things could have worked this way. So if you ask that question, what was it that worked really good in that situation? How many of you have done that exercise? You can go on chat and tell me I did that. I just see everyone. So what is the point of us coming and blabbering and talking here if we are not going to bring any change? Are you all going to do this exercise today? Yes? Type yes. You can unmute and say yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you explain again what we have to do? Can you explain?
Jaisal, you sit and year 2022 you evaluate. 2022 में मेरे साथ क्या क्या हुआ? 2022 में ऐसी कौन सी चीज हुई जो मुझे अच्छी नहीं लगी, या like something where you felt the pain that this was what something which did not work for my best. You know, entire somewhere we would have complained, somewhere we all would have naturally said, okay, this is not which is good happened to me. Somewhere we would have cried, somewhere we would have like complained to someone, we would have gossiped about it. We would have done a lot of things for what situation, for people, and what happened. So I want you to write down that entire 2022 year, begin from January till December, and then again at the right side, make another column and the same situation, see it differently and write it differently. So for example, the story that I shared, and I said that if the writer was writing that my son met with an accident, or my mother passed away and I retired and I felt very bad. But like the positive way of looking at that, I could work where I like now I can pursue my passion of writing. My son met through an accident which was very bad, but he survived. God was very kind there. So everything where we are reminding to ourselves that God has been kind to us and things are working for me. This is how things worked for me. Anything which is the worst thing which happens to us and where we feel that it was very bad, there is something which has happened, which is good in that. So you will be looking at this worst of the memories of your last year with what is it that worked good for you. And in the same column in your diary, you all must have begun 2023 diary, right? If you have not, it's still not late. Bring in your diary and start your diary with this, and then write down what is it that has worked good. But what was good in that? What was it that worked? If any of you could not get your answer and you tell me that, I was unable to see, you can write it down to us and probably we can take that here next Thursday. Is this clear to everyone now? If anyone has not understood, you can tell me. Is this clear to everyone? Guys, I need to know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yeah, so we'll do it clear. I kept in mind was that it asked us to do change. I get to do. Yeah, but the first exercise was the foundation along with that. So the minute we develop the perspective at which we look at life is changing, automatically by default, a lot of things start changing. And when we write it down in the diary, probably we can keep it as a habit. When we write down, this is what I felt when this happened to me. It is the lack of emotion expression, emotional stagnancy, which hampers us physically, mentally, and in all aspects of our life. So the minute you are writing it down and saying, this is what happened to me, this is what I felt, it allows you to express your emotions. And once expressed, it is done. Then the minute I get a chance to vent out, I'm already at a much better place to be. Till the time I don't have a chance, if I have to go in the bathroom and I have to cry, and if I'm like I'm controlling and saying, don't cry, don't let the tears come out, then probably like there is an urge in me to cry it out, shout it out. But if I'm allowing myself to write it down and expressing, this happened to me, this is what I felt, this is what bothered me, this is what hurt me, it gives us a way to vent out. Now, once I have done that, probably if you are not comfortable on the same day, that is also fine. But whenever you are comfortable in a better position, open the same page and see that if I have to look at it from a different perspective, what would be that perspective? And what is it that actually worked in it? So that is the step 2 there. This is what actually worked there for me. And that is where what point Richa has brought to your notice, that point comes in there where we say like, the minute I look at it from a positive perspective, a sense of gratitude surfaces. And there is a gratitude that we are expressing. We are expressing that gratitude to the divine, to ourselves and to the people around us, letting them know that this is how it worked. This is how the life is there to support me. This is where people are there who are supporting me. This is where the divine is supporting me. So it's a reminder to us that the things are working for me. And the minute we start focusing our energies on what are the things which is working for us, by default, we send those signals to the universe. And universe reads the signal where we are saying, thank you, things are working for me. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for supporting me. So by law of attraction, what we attract is the help and the support. And the regrets, rejections that we hold on to, that starts reducing. I'm not saying that, we all become saint and we say, oh, I never look at things in life with a negative thing. It is by default that you will feel bad about it. It is by default that we get hurt. We are emotional being. Our emotions will surface up. So don't scold yourself and don't say I'm a bad person. मैं कितना negative सोचती हूँ. My thought process is so negative. Don't do that. It's okay. It is a proof that you are a human. And just acknowledge when you are feeling bad. Write it down. Let it vent out. Even if at that point anyone feels like screaming, you are angry at the person, you are really feeling frustrated, you are annoyed to another level that, like I want to give a punch. Put it down, do some activity where you are actually doing it. You write it down, you do it. Probably what we may call positive gossiping, like not with a group, with someone who is stable here, who do not get carried away with your, like when you are complaining and say, yeah, that is so correct. This person actually did wrong to you. You don't want that person. You want the person who really understand it from a very positive perspective, who may ask you that, oh, this is what happened to you. I understand. What did you learn from that? What did this person teach you? Because God cannot come down to teach every lesson to us. The only way we learn is that God comes through different people in our lives. And how I can connect to the God in them is if I allow the God in them to surface up. Then it is the divine in them which will actually question you. So what did you learn there? And that is why we say it is very important to know that the group with which you are associated and the group with which you stay is very important. They influence you. They are the hidden hypnotherapist in your life. They are constantly programming you. They are constantly giving you messages. And these messages are molding you. By you keeping those fears within you, is another part of you will surface up, and that part will start giving messages to you. We all have two personalities, right? One which is vulnerable, one which is in charge. One which is fearful, one which is strong. One whom we may label as positive, one which is negative. Which one is more active depends on our everyday activity. Sanusha has written, I fear acknowledging it will increase the negative situations more, so I fear crying and complaining. How to handle fear? It's the same thing, Anusha. Acknowledge your fear. Do write it down and say, I'm fearful about it. Don't open up the entire box. Take one thing at a time. But do identify your anchor in life. It can be one person, it can be a group, it can be a video that you are seeing. In future, probably I will put you all in a group where probably you can take help of each other, because if you are regularly listening to it, probably one of you, the activity that we have given, during that week can, like, you choose one person and that one person can help you and ask the same question that, this is what you have written in the diary. Now you tell me what happened. Or ideally, Anusha, like, you have learned theta. So, I mean, soon Cesta will create a Facebook group of you all students, and you guys can actually pick up a day and work on each other and doing the releases. So every month on the 1st, we are starting the mini release workshops. It begins from February. We are starting the mini release workshops. People who already have learned theta, so we will have a 2.5-hour workshop for them. And people who have not learned theta, post that, there will be the releases that either me or Richa will guide you all on the subject given for 1 hour, so that there is a regular releases which are happening. And once in 2 months, we will have a little longer workshop, which will constantly be holding you, like every day 10 minutes, 15 minutes, where today this activity you do, today that activity you do. Is that sounding good to you and making life easier for you?
Yes. And there is one question also, Sangeeta ji, I want to ask. You know, I was not aware of this writing, thing long back, 30 years back. But I don't know, it was like that universe was telling me to write. I started writing a diary. But that diary my husband took and read. And he has shown to everyone. So from that day onward, I have stopped writing.
Okay. So for this, ideally, who is this? I could not.
I'm Madhu. Madhu.
One sec, Madhu. I will. One sec. If I can take you here, we will do the download for you so that becomes easier for you.
Yeah.
Probably you have not written. Yeah, your name is there.
Yeah.
One sec. Yeah.
Ma'am, diary was taken away by someone and then I stopped writing.
Huh. Madhu, you said this, right?
Yeah, I said this thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is called a past trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Where, so you tell me, when diary was being taken away from you.
I was not at home. I am from Delhi. I was married in Bombay. So I was in Delhi. My diary was here. And in my absence, he did everything.
How did that make you feel?
Very bad.
What did you do about it?
I stopped writing.
No, what did you do about somebody invading into your privacy? What did you do about it?
I've not done anything. I was scared. I was fearful.
What stopped you from doing that? What made you fearful and scared?
I was not able to talk to anyone. At that time, my mother was also unwell. She had a cancer. So I was not able to share my thoughts at that time with anyone.
Not that time. Even now, you cannot share. If after so many years you have done nothing.
Yeah.
But did you speak to your husband about it, or did you?
He did not answer anything. And to whom he has shown, he has stopped them to tell me. But they all told me that he came to us with your diary. He has done, means behind my back, without informing me, without telling me. And he was stopping others to tell me also.
Okay. So you tell me, what were you fearful about? You said I was fearful.
Yeah, I was fearful. I don't want to expose my relationship to others in my family, because they will be under stress. So I did not want to make them stressful because the family is already stressed.
No. Is this fear of judgment?
I don't know. That time I did not thought about it. Maybe now. Yeah.
If I have written something in the diary of what I felt in that moment,
Yeah.
right? For example, if I have written, I really hated how Madhu spoke. I really like this. Oh, Madhu looks like this. Oh, this is what.
Yeah.
I probably do not mean that. Or even if you mean that, that is like your personal thing.
Yeah.
So the first thing is the need to real the fear of judgment, because the minute it comes from the anything that you do, Madhu, in life, which comes from a place of conviction, conviction not to the others, conviction to my own self. I'm doing it because I am a human and I also feel bad, and I have just written it down so that I don't hold on to that baggage. Right? So then when it comes from that place of conviction, I'm not feeling guilty. This happens when we are feeling guilty about something. Am I doing good? Am I doing bad? Then
One thing,
that,
at that time I felt very humiliated and betrayed also.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I become vulnerable when I'm not coming from the place of conviction. I'm saying the other side of the picture.
Okay.
Because what we believe in, what we teach through our classes and workshops, is one simple thing. Whatever happens in my life to me is something I have attracted and I have asked for it.
Okay.
Is one of my own belief which goes out to the universe and to people around me. They catch that frequency and that frequency comes back to me. If there is anything which I can control, that thing is my own frequency. My frequency is being generated by my own thought process. How I think, what I think, and how I reverse it. It is in my control. So I am going to the root cause of it. That whenever I have said something, I have written something where I have a fear that like somebody will see it. It is another thing that people do not have right to invade into somebody's privacy. That comes if somebody enters your house without your permission and starts staying. Are we silently going to take that?
No.
Because we do believe this is my house, boss. You cannot stay here. Who are you to tell me? Who are you to come here? It comes from that place of conviction. And then you will fight, you will go to police, you will do anything to the level to kick them out. You will not, first of all, you will not allow them to enter your house. Like, any outsider will come and say, no, but like, I want to stay in your house for a month. You say, I don't know you. This is not your house. You can't stay here. So the same thing with our thoughts and our beliefs. If I believe very strongly that, I have the right to express and I'm this, probably we are at a better position to handle it. And like everyone gets that message very clearly. That you do not enter and open up somebody's cupboard and take their jewelry and take their clothes and say, okay, I wore that, I did that. We don't do that, and we don't expect people to do certain things. So first is that to get our own self very, very like sorted there. And to know that this is allowed, this is not allowed. We don't have enough time to take you through the B rounds to release it. I will just go in the theta frequency of the brain, scan and do the downloads and belief work for everyone for the same thing. Is this clear? Because I think each one of you on the platform would have at some point in your life would have felt that people get into your space and what they have done is not ethical or that is not good. They don't have any right to do that. Right? I don't think there would be anyone who would have felt differently. So I'll just quickly take Mitushi's question also. Yes, Mitushi. Mitushi, open up your screen.
Yes, ma'am, I was in a kitchen actually. That's why I did not open. So,
Yes.
good morning.
Good morning.
Ma'am, I wanted to share one thing because this diary thing reminded me that there was a time in my life, some 15, 18 years back, when I was having a tough time in my life. So, at that time, I used to write everything in my diary. For 3, 4 years, I must have written, I mean, many diaries. Every night I would write, but somewhere I was just writing all the pain that I was going through, all the tough times I was going through, which I was unable to share it to anybody. And after that, when that uh, phase passed on, I could never, though many times I thought that I'll write down a diary, but somewhere I think diary has now become like something where you just cry out. Somewhere like at the back of the mind, whenever I pick up the diary, it's like, what do I write? I have nothing to cry about. I mean, just so it has become synonymous to as an agony aunt. And let me tell you, I haven't opened those diaries back because those diaries bring back bad memories.
So, Mitushi, as an exercise, what you do is number one, those diaries, bad memories are something which is still stored in the subconscious mind. And like now that you have learned so many levels in theta healing, like you are already like almost you have finished your Cesta graduation now, right?
Yes, yes,
So
it's
you have
finished.
another like way of looking at it. So
Yes,
now for you, there will be two categories there. One will be like, and don't open all the topics.
yes,
Take one, even if you take 1 week for that, it is okay. Take one of how you felt about it. Look at it differently. You can connect in the theta frequency and say, God, what was my learning in that? Want to
okay,
write down your questions? Write down. Where did it begin?
yes,
What belief of mine attracted it?
yes.
Right? And what was my learning in that?
Hmm.
So integrate the learning, cancel the belief out there, and now that you have done past life, also the way in which I taught you guys to completely rescript your past lives, probably you can see the entire thing happening very differently in a positive way. Probably there will be some memories where your mind will not be able to recreate it in a positive way.
At times this happens.
Yeah, it will not be able to recreate it in a positive way. It will still go back that possibly nahi hai.
Yes.
ये बंदा ऐसा सुधर ही नहीं सकता है. Possibly nahi hai. Put it in one pile because still your learning is still pending. The possibility will not surface up. But since if you are doing it regularly, suddenly there will be a day where you will suddenly start seeing everything in a very positive way. It requires a lot of regular cleanse. People don't require regular cleanse because they have a problem. It is like preventive, and we all have lived multiple lifetimes and we all have stored millions and billions of these memories within us. We all require a cleanse on a regular basis, and probably somebody's help to help us look at it from a very different perspective. Because if I am the one who created it, I am the one who wants to hold on to it. I don't want to let go of that very easily. And it is painful at that point of time, Mitushi, to every day do that because sometimes it is quite overwhelming.
Yes.
Like, no matter how much we say, we are like, nahi hota hai. I would find it rather easier to tell somebody else, please help me out. Like,
Actually, this happens.
This is my problem. Like, now you do what you want to do. I can't handle it anymore.
Yes.
But like, the difference is now you have already developed a different way of thinking. So you are
Absolutely.
not as helpless as you were before.
Yes. So that's what I was telling you. I'm in a happy space. So I just don't want to revisit that. But somewhere diary has become synonymous too, as if like just writing down all the worst thing going on in life.
No, that is why when I asked people to write down, I said, write that thing down, and in the opposite side, write down what was it that good happened in that. So I'm already changing it.
Yes.
If I'm changing it, then the negativity doesn't exist anymore, or the impact reduces. And probably we may not be able to open up the entire box, like, right, one thing at a time, how much you can take it. Don't open up the entire thing.
Yes.
It does require, Mitushi. I think the entire thought process at a social level also needs to change. The way in which every day you brush your teeth, every day we take shower, every day we eat food, every day we drink water, every moment we breathe. We require emotional cleanse also equally. I don't have to have a problem for that. I require that for my own sanity and for me to like live happily and to know that life is so good and to create a beautiful life for ourselves rather than अरे problem है क्या क्यों गए थे therapist के पास कुछ हुआ है क्या why do you require that I mean it's the question which is so invalid nobody asks school में क्यों गए थे oh why did you go to the school or but why did you brush your teeth today why are you breathing why are you eating nobody is questioning you that why do people ask, why did you go to a therapist? You don't have to have a problem. And that is not a question of judgment. It is the need for every human. As long as we are not operating from animalistic behavior. We have moved on to our heart chakra and we do feel, we give, even animals, plants, they all feel. Right? Let me very quickly do the downloads. And I will keep in mind Mitushi and Madhu both. And let me quickly do that. So do I have the permission to pull, cancel, and send to God's light the belief in each one that I am all alone? Be cancelled at all the four level of your belief work to be resolved at the history level and genetic level and to be replaced with I'm always being loved by and supported by into each one present here in the group right now. Just say yes in your mind or loudly. And whoever says yes, I'll be changing the belief for all of you. Thank you. Do I have the permission to pull, cancel, and send to God's light the belief in you that I have to prove myself to others? Be cancelled at all the four levels of your beliefs to be resolved at the history and the genetic level to be replaced with I am in complete alignment with the divine forces into each one now. Whoever says yes, creator of all that is, belief be changed for each one's highest and best. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Creator shown. So would you like to know what it feels like to have your own space? Through Creator's definition and perspective of the seventh plane of Creator of all that is, I know what it feels like to have my own space. And I know how to do it, when to do it. It is safe, it is possible, and I'm deserving of it. I know how to live my daily life with it. I know what it feels like to have my own space and yet being connected with the divine forces and being connected with people around me. I understand how to be respected by people for the boundaries that I have drawn and to respect people for their boundaries. I release people from any obligation to teach me to draw boundaries and to speak up for myself. I know how to communicate my point clearly to people through Creator's definition and perspective of the seventh plane of Creator of all that is, and that it is completely possible. Into every cell of your body, every area of your life, at all the four level of your beliefs, for each one's highest and best, and the highest and best possible way for each one now. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Creator, show me. Please say yes to receive these feelings.
Yes.
I understand what it feels like to be in the place of alignment and conviction with the self, and let the divine self in me always be guiding the other selves in me to be able to communicate my heart and my mind clearly without the fearful self in me being more active or getting overwhelmed, and that it is completely possible. I know how to do that with ease and grace. Into every cell of your body, every area of your life, at all the four level of your beliefs, for each one's highest and best, the highest and best possible way for each one now. Say yes to receive the feelings. Thank you. I know what it feels like to allow my soul to dictate my mind, and that it is safe, it is possible. I know how to do that without being fearful of the past baggage and past memories. I understand. Past has already happened. I know what it feels like to take in the learnings of the past and to know it is over and completed. I know how to move on from my past and integrating the learning into my present, how to create the beautiful present and future for myself. Through Creator's definition and perspective of the seventh plane of Creator of all that is, I know how to live my daily life in present, being aware of the past learnings and executing the steps based on the divine understanding, and it is completely possible. Into every cell of your body, every area of your life, at all the four levels of your beliefs, by each one's highest and best, and the highest and best possible way for each one now. Thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Creator, show me. Please say yes to receive these feelings.
Yes.
Passing unconditional love, light, and healing to each one present here. Yeah, you all can Open your eyes. How are you feeling?
Yeah, better. Better.
Yeah, so I'm all alone normally attracts this. When we feel I'm all alone, then I attract people where that people make me feel alone. In that moment, Madhu, you felt alone.
Yeah.
सब एक बार जो हो गए, मैं यहाँ पर हूँ.
Right.
So at core level, we all do carry a lot of beliefs. And the solution is when we develop our own understanding of how to identify those beliefs, clear them, rather than holding on to it, because otherwise ये patterns life after life repeat होते ही रहती है.
Okay.
लाइफ में खत्म नहीं होती है. हर एक लाइफ में कहीं ना कहीं लोग आपको ऐसे महसूस कराते हैं कि आप अकेले हो, ये हो, और वो सिग्नल्स हमारी ओर से ही जाते हैं.
Okay.
So it is utmost important that हम लोग इसको आइडेंटिफाई करें, we address it and we release it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think every week you will probably be understanding and learning something more further. And I wish you all do your homework. So next week we have more clarity about it. So thank you so much for joining. Wishing you all a very, very wonderful week, which is enlightening and shifting life realities. Knowledge is the key. Always remember that. And then the action step is the way to go about it. Having the knowledge and doing nothing about it is equivalent to zero. Start adding zero after your knowledge ka 1, so that it multiplies 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. There is no point having no knowledge and putting those zeros there. So start doing that, and we will have more such enlightening sessions. See you all next Thursday. Have a great day and have a great week. Thank you.
Oh, thank
See
you.
you all. Bye.